So I got the Ironman suit fully wearable. Let's talk about how I rigged this thing up. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dylan from Quest for Nostalgia, and I finally have the suit fully wearable right before paint. So let's go over every aspect of how I have this thing linked together so that hopefully it will help you guys not have to go through all the troubleshooting that I did for my suit. What's going on, guys? I'm Dylan from Quest for Nostalgia, and yeah, I'm going to teach you guys how I strapped up the entire Mark 46 suit. I did a video earlier before about how I did it, but the harnessing completely changed, and so I decided to pull that video down and really give you guys a good deep dive now that you guys can see it fully wearable. So let's start from bottom to top, and we're going to go through the entire thing. Thanks for watching this build series so far. I really appreciate you guys riding along with me on this journey, and I hope that helps you out. If you want to support, there's things like Patreon or the Amazon wish list that helps, send plastic this way so I can keep doing projects like this. But thank you all for all the support. Like, comment, subscribe, those things. Comment down below if you guys are working on your own suit or if this helps you work for different suits. Because some of these tips I got from a guy that's doing a robocop suit, Chris Bosch Props, here on YouTube. So you can be working on different suits, and all of these things really help you out. So let's start bottom to the top. We're going to go through it. We're starting with the feet. This is the shoe here. I have all of the pieces all welded together here in one piece. And then inside of that is my shoe. And yeah, it's just a slip-on shoe from Walmart that had like memory foam insoles. And it's very easy to step into. And yeah, just simple. I don't have laces. I don't have to worry about tying shoes or anything like that. And it fits perfectly inside the shoe because luckily everything from Do3D fits me at 100%. The next part here is the leg. The only thing that you're missing here is the knee, because that one I want to paint separately and then attach in here. I think I'm going to have to permanently mount it in here, so I want it fully painted and then attach it permanently to the shin here. But in the meantime, it's going to be a little bit easier to keep that separate, so I have not attached that. So the way that the shins are attached is they are elastic. So I have them elastic here, so that way it's just enough for my foot to push through and then open up, and then them to stay as one big piece here. That's really helpful for me. And then the way that they hinge here from the thighs are these little straps. This idea was given to me by Chris Bosch Props, who is doing a robocop here on YouTube. He just finished it. He showed it off at Fan Expo Dallas. But yes, it has little buttons that snap onto little 3D printed pieces here. So it's a little 3D printed piece of plastic. I printed like 30 of them on my bed. And then you put the other side of the snap through that. I'll link the drive down below, and I'll also link Chris Bosch Props video on that. But yeah, it was perfect because what it allows it to do is it allows it to pivot. Because they're snaps, it's a lot more movable than it is if you just did, say, something like nylon and buckles. So yeah, this is just nylon that I got off of Amazon, and then the snaps that I got from Walmart. But as you see, I just snapped these in to the two sides here on what would be kind of like almost like a leg brace, like something like a knee brace there. And then that allows this to pivot so freely, which is really, really nice. I love this setup. And then if you see here, I actually attached buckles to that same kind of concept here. So now you can see it a little bit better. There's the other inside snap there that is just hot glued into place. And so I snap these on here. And then what these buckles are going to attach to is a harness system that I made. So for this harness, it's super, super simple. It goes all the way over the shoulders down to the thighs. And what I did was I went on to Thingiverse and I found a file for suspenders. So this little triangle piece allowed me to do a crossover, so that allowed me to have those go from one side to the other nicely. These ones attach to the front, these buckle ends attach to the front where I just showed you, and then there's ones that straps to the back of the thighs there. I've seen people have issues where that kind of breaks or snaps across, and I think that's honestly because they're doing it as a permanent installation. So if you did just nylon and buckle and did this, there's not enough pivot, so there's not enough give. But because these are actually attached to the snaps instead of glued straight onto the thigh, it pivots a little bit more, so it gives it a little bit more flexibility. You won't get those binding movements. So this is really nice. Again, it was kind of modeled from Chris Bosch Props. He's a firefighter and he has really nice firefighter suspenders. And I was thinking, oh, okay, so I don't have those, but this also allows me to adjust these on the fly. These aren't actually attached. I used these little kind of like bicycle loops here, and what that does is it allows me to adjust this if I need to more. I can put these on here, and then I can tighten them and lift the thighs higher if I need to them, and have them kind of set in place. These are going to be switched out to black nylon. These were just a trial run to get the lengths kind of dialed in there. But yes, I'm going to be switching these to black, so just in case they see through the suit, at least it's black, not a bright white compared to the rest of the suit. The hands will have their own separate video. Those are being painted. I thought I was going to wear the suit primered to my first con, but I ended up not. But the hands needed to be painted fully before I attached them all together because I didn't want to attach them then paint them. So those ones are going to get painted fully then attached. So that's why you're not seeing them. Here is the rest of the arm here. It has the same exact kind of hinging motion as the thighs do there. I actually want to adjust these and move these farther back. Right now I have them kind of in the front, and what you see is it kind of hangs off here. I need to move that back to where they're going to dangle freely from the center. I had just made these snaps and they're already too small, and I just try to use them anyways, and that was my fault. So I just need to make longer ones, and that will straighten this all out. And just like the shins, the forearms are elastic as well. So you see there, it kind of splits open on this top piece here. They're just elastic together. DO3D does have magnet slots, but I was afraid that they weren't going to be strong enough. So I elastic them, and then I have this piece here. And then this piece, once again, has another buckle snap. So I have a snap here onto a buckle, and I attach that inside of the bicep here, and this attaches to the shoulder. So those are there. So if you look in here with the shoulder, I have that buckled to this here, and then there's also a buckle that's going to attach to the shoulder piece there. And so this allows me to have this whole piece on. This exactly, I leave the shoulders attached to the suit there, but this kind of can show you a little bit of what this looks like here. So then there we go, we have it all lined up, and that's how we kind of go. Actually, this is backwards, so this one should be up, but you get the idea there. I have those hinging parts there, and yeah, just kind of all buckles and nylon straps there, and then this attaches to the shoulder straps across from the chest piece. The neck is just a magnetized neck here, so there's magnet slots for that. I might have to change that because it feels like it's a little loose, like it feels like it could kind of pop off a little bit too easily. But we'll see. You know, I might just give it a run at the con and see what happens. I'll bring probably Velcro with me and maybe make a Velcro thing if I have to. So let's break down the whole torso area. There's a whole bunch of pieces here because with the Mark 46, there's a lot of subducting areas to it. The cod piece is free floating, then I have the abs, and then there's kind of this sternum piece that goes underneath on its own, and then on top of that you have the chest piece here. So there's 3 different parts, and then there's 2 different subducting parts in the back here. So this part is free floating below the back there. So let's take this apart. I used to have this as one big backpack piece thing, but I've then gone ahead and changed it because it was too hard to get on with the sternum. So let's look at the back piece here first. So like I said, this one is 2 parts. Everything else is pretty much welded together. I have 3 snaps here. Those 3 snaps allow that to hold into place. I have a little bit of a wrap material here, so that way it doesn't subduct into itself. But yeah, those 3 kind of help it dangle. They're all in that same button snaps that I did for those hinges, and I really like that. You could use regular buckles if you want. This just gives it a little bit more play with it. But yeah, it comes out really nice, and it has this easy back piece. If you look at the shoulders, what I did was I reprinted the shoulder straps again, and from there I then cut them off in like a mesh mixer or the 3D builder. I sliced them down and I made them a little bit smaller so that way I could weld them underneath to have more support. And then as you see here, I added nylon buckles that are hot glued underneath of that attach to the front half of this that you're about to see here in a second. And so here's the front half here. Like I said, there's 4 different pieces here actually all attached together. So from the shoulder straps at the top, you'll see these little flaps here are where I attach the shoulder pieces to, and then the arms attached to those. And then these buckles here are what attach to the back piece. If you've noticed, I had to strap these with buckles and with these little pivots here for that under sternum area. So like I said, this one free floats underneath of that, and this one has been taking a beating. So I really need to sand this down and paint this again. But that piece is underneath that, and then the next part, the abs are attached below that. So you see with these white straps here and the buckles, that's how those abs are attached in there. And then again, the snaps are for the cod piece here. And so with all three of these, on the abs themselves actually have these kind of hooks that really help it stay tight to me. The suit fits me really, really well. Luckily, I'm very, very fortunate that my physique and everything fits really well to this. But yeah, so it kind of holds itself in place. When I was getting these lined up, what I did was I masking taped them together and then did all the strapping. So I got it how I wanted to look, taped it all so that it couldn't move, and then started adding all those nylon straps and buckles in there. But yeah, overall it came out really good. I can put it together almost all the way except for the arms. I can't do the arms myself. There's no way for me to physically attach those arms to the shoulders. I know 3D Flip and Frank both use the kind of like key card, retractable key card things in there. I'm not really sure how they did that or how much that holds or what kind of weight I need to be able to attach those kinds of things. But that would be kind of nice to have something to be able to extend it, attach it, and then suck it back up, as opposed to trying to reach under there and clipping all these things. It really is a pain. But overall, that's how everything is done. The helmet, I'm going to give you a full helmet motorization tutorial. The helmet that you see in the beginning here, I made two of those. One of them you've heard before that it was too small. It was perfect for me, but it was too small for motorization. So I have that helmet, and then I have a second helmet that is going to be motorized. And so I'll give you a full tutorial on how I use the Samurai Official elastic band motorization kit. It's going to be super, super cool. But I hope that really gets rid of all the mystery. Man, I mean, I had to troubleshoot. This took me like 2 weeks, honestly, just to try to get this thing fitment. I had to pull things off a million times and retry different ideas. I went a little bit crazy with those snaps, and I was using snaps for everything, but the snaps, because they can pivot, it allowed some things to have too much play and move out of place all the time. And so I was overthinking things almost. They were like over engineering when I didn't need to be and needed to go back to simple buckles. So yeah, I hope this really helps you get an idea of what it's like to do the Mark 46. Hopefully this ideas transfer over to other suits. Like I said, some of my ideas are from a robocop suit, so I hope that these ideas help you for strapping up different suits of armor in case you're doing a different kind of a Mark 86 or anything like that, 85, whatever they are. But yeah, I hope this helps. Thank you as always. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the second time we mentioned, but it really helps me out. We're really growing over here, putting a lot of work on here. I'm super excited to get this thing painted. I hope all this information really helps you out and takes away some of that fear, so that way you guys can make your own big projects. This is a super big undertaking. Don't let anybody, fool you into that. Getting things super, super smooth, like, getting rid of all those layer lines. I will be showing exactly how I go about finishing this and making this super smooth, so don't worry. I have my whole full process on there. Will help you get the thing looking nice. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see how this thing comes out. I'm super excited. I'm itching to get this thing painted. So as always, if you made it this far, you're the backbone of the channel. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.